Thanks for joining me for this edition of the Church Security Answer Man. I'm so glad you're here for this quick little challenge that I want to talk to you about. I want to know what you would do, and I hope you'll discuss it with your other security team members as well. This occurred a short time back in Alabama. And basically, a few churches were visited by this suspicious man. The one church that I want to specifically talk about was the Northern Heights Baptist Church. And basically what happened is this guy comes in through a side door of the church, and I'm just assuming it's not the normal door, and it caused quite a bit of attention, if you will, from the congregation, from what I understand. So he came through the side door, walks up the aisle, and goes to the front of the church. And then basically he made the Catholic sign of the cross and did his thing at the front. He's kneeling down as well when he's doing this, right at the front, right in front of the congregation, right in the middle of the service. And then he takes one of these manila envelopes containing something and dumps it on the front pew next to him, and then turns and walks out. Now, think about that for a second. It's pretty simple, but what are you going to do? We've had scares in the past. This is a big deal where folks are finding white powder in envelopes, and sometimes it's not good when they find it. So, and other things could be in these envelopes, simple little things. So they ended up finding some data, a little disc with some information in it, but and some other stuff that led them to the internet to see a little bit more from this guy. And he felt he was some sort of prophet or something. He went around to other churches asking to talk to the pastors, but he didn't stick around. So think about that. I want you thinking about it. What would your team do if that was to occur? Somebody first comes in that's suspicious, goes up front, kneels, begins to pray for a moment, drops something in the front of the church, and then walks out and leaves. What are you going to do with that package that he has dropped off? And what are you going to do with the congregation and stuff? And, and I'm thinking it's simple as retrieving the envelope and trying to figure out if it is a danger. But some of you may disagree with that, may want to be more cautious about picking up that envelope, especially given the white powder stuff that we've had in the past, those kind of scares. And so what would your team do? And I hope you'll leave me some comments in the bottom. Here's a picture of the gentleman that came into those churches and, was suspicious. And typically, these folks do believe they're hearing God's voice. They do believe they're sent as a prophet, and that, they're typically paranoid schizophrenic. And, we have to be understanding. Of course, we're going to be loving towards them, those kind of things, but we still have to be prepared to deal with these issues. And how are we going to deal with it in front of our congregation? And how are we going to make them feel confident when something like this happens that is a little bit disturbing to them, when they're, sensitive? Their families, older folks, they're going to be sensitive to this kind of stuff. And so, so what are some of my recommendations? First of all, I do believe we need to instill confidence in our congregation, our attendees throughout the year. I make a couple of announcements a year about the training that the security team does. I don't give a lot of details. We are, we're very well seen in the lobbies, those kind of things. So I think we give our attendees confidence in what we're doing. So when we come in and handle something like this happens, then we're able to take care of that. I would hope, it sounds like he came in through a side door, so he didn't come in through the normal lobby. Hopefully we're catching these kind of suspicious folks in the lobby and not letting them get in where our congregation is. But sometimes it happens, coming in through a side door. So, how are we going to deal with that? And again, I'm looking at long term, we need to build up the confidence of our congregation that we're there, we're taking care of things. Even if it's only one of you doing the security, give them the confidence that you're paying attention to things. and that you're there and you're alert, and then decide what you're going to do. This is valuable. We have other examples on our YouTube page where, we're talking about a guy with a gun, or a guy that comes in and does a non-violent, non-verbal protest where he walks through with a terrible saying on his t-shirt, that kind of thing. But now here's another scenario. How would you handle it so that you're prepared to handle this situation should something like this occur, where somebody brings in something suspicious, leaves it, and walks away? So leave a comment down below, or wherever you're at, leave me a comment. Also, I hope that you're subscribing. If you're finding value, that you subscribe to this channel so that you and I can stay in touch. Leave a comment. I try to get right back and answer your comments. As well as, don't forget, we have all kinds of information for you in the comment section. Lots of advice that we have, courses, equipment that we recommend if you're trying to struggle with what should I buy for flashlights or radios or those kind of things. We have that down in the comment section, description area. Also, though, you can go to our website, which is churchsecurityanswerman.com, and there's all kinds of free stuff over there for you, report forms, documentation forms, as well as training and other things that you can take a look at and connect with us on. So thanks so much for joining me for this quick edition, and I hope you'll spread the word with your team and challenge them this next week with what would you want them to do, or what would they do given this situation. So thanks again for joining me. I hope you have a safe and secure week.